So let's talk about who you guys specifically think is the most dramatic one on the show, Carmen. Now, it's no secret that I actually think the Carmen character is pretty great. I feel like one of the biggest reasons the show is so popular is because a lot of people remember Carmen's rebellious season. More specifically, when she ran away with Zach. I feel like that was peak George Lopez, and to pretend like Carmen wasn't a bigger role than what she actually played is just crazy. If you've been watching the George Lopez show for the first time or even for the 100th time, you know for a fact that around the time when Carmen starts to rebel with George and fight more with him, it is the start of something bigger for the show. Now, I know a lot of people specifically don't really care for the character. They feel like she was just too spoiled or she wasn't necessarily even a good daughter.
It's Adam's fault. He lied and told some of his friends that I let him have sex with me, and now it's going around school that I'm a hoe.
But the truth is, a lot of the upbringing has to be from George. And Angie, of course. But let me not get ahead of myself here. I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support on the last 2 videos. I hope you guys are enjoying the new series that I'm bringing to you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do these for absolutely every single character on the show. Let's continue with Carmen today. Thank you so much for the support, by the way. Thank you to the members. You guys are beautiful. Let's do it. So when we first meet Carmen on episode 1, you already know that Carmen is already going into some sort of rebellious phase. Carmen is already lying about small things just because she can't be honest about what's happening to her. In this case specifically, it's mainly because Carmen is ditching swim class because she's too embarrassed to go in there because she has hairy armpits. And already right here, it's kind of interesting to see just how insecure Carmen can be. And look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be insecure, like that, you know, we don't deal with insecurities, but it's also how you're raised to handle them.
Money in your bag?
It's there. Don't worry about it. I'll just share with the cheerleaders. They don't eat their food.
But it does seem like Carmen, just like Max, has self-esteem issues. Now, Carmen is the oldest sister, and from the get-go, you can kind of see that she does sort of struggle to make friends. She doesn't really ever have friends, and this is an ongoing joke within the first few seasons.
You found Carmen yet?
No, and I'm worried sick. It's her first day at a new school. She should have been home an hour ago.
Come on, it's an hour. She's got no money. She's got no friends. She's probably walking around the mall crying.
Except for one friend, Toby. Now, Toby is with Carmen, and they've apparently known each other since kindergarten until Toby eventually has to move schools. Now, this is kind of sad for Carmen because you sort of start to see a bit of a decline here where she feels more alone and she kind of just distances herself from friendships. And it's not just the fact that she distances herself, she also has difficulty making friends. And it doesn't really make sense why George is the way that he is. Because you would think someone would be encouraging to your kid, but Carmen feels the constant neglect from George when it comes to her emotions.
Why do I even talk to you? You always take Max aside. He's the golden child.
Hey, don't walk away from me.
Why? You don't need me. You've got Max. You love him more than you love me anyway.
This is a constant pattern throughout the whole entire show. Carmen is constantly going out with guys that are going to break her heart. We first start to see this with Duncan, who just wants her for that. And then we see Adam. Then, of course, we can forget Zach. And last but not least, Jason. We'll get to those really quick, but let's talk about how, specifically when it comes to school, Carmen cannot make friends with other girls. Matter of fact, it doesn't seem like Carmen makes friends, period. Carmen is constantly being bullied at school, constantly being berated by her peers, and it really shows when she gets home because what is supposed to be her safe place only becomes part 2 of the bullying.
Today was the worst day of my life.
I made fun of some kids, so today they made fun of you. But honey, isn't it possible that they were just gonna make fun of you anyway?
Now, when I say this, I specifically mean George, because it seems like Carmen and Angie have somewhat of a good bond, but most of the problems come from George and, in all honesty, Max as well. You see, Carmen constantly feels like Max is the one that's loved more, and so because of this, she butts heads with George so much more. George obviously tries to prioritize her feelings, but he is kind of terrible at it. Now, because of this, Carmen ends up distancing herself from the family even more, and you get to see a big change in her energy and attitude as the seasons progress. It gets so bad to the point where Carmen at some point runs away from the family.
Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, but I
Zach will take care of me. I'm sorry I'm not the daughter you wanted.
Because she doesn't feel like she is the daughter that they wanted. And after being gone for what feels maybe 2 weeks, she finally comes back to the house, and you would think that there would be some sort of character redemption where Carmen is going to be a new person, but now it feels like they dumb her down.
And the mannequin? It symbolizes my spirit escaping its confinement.
Is your spirit so dumb it can't use the door?
Carmen is still stuck on this whole teenage dream of meeting her Prince Charming, marrying, and everything will be okay. But it seems like George ends up putting her down even more. You would think if your daughter runs away, when she comes back, you would try to change absolutely everything that made her run away in the first place. Now, when we talk about relationships, we already mentioned Duncan and Adam, but the two relationships that absolutely take a toll on her are Zach and Jason. Now, Zach, for starters, is just another rebellious dude, but unlike Carmen, he has mess around money. Now, I didn't want to say the F word, but you guys can know what I'm saying. So because Zach is the son of male powers, Zach has money to throw around, and this is more than likely what catches Carmen's eye too, as Zach constantly buys her gifts. More importantly, Zach behaves in a way that Carmen more than likely wants to behave as well, but unlike him, she has consequences. Now, when she sees Zach going above and beyond to just go see her, Carmen finds this extremely charming. Unfortunately, it only ends the same way that it ends every single time. Zach only wants her for one thing, and when he doesn't get it, he just leaves her. This is one of the hardest moments for Carmen, at least, because Carmen is supposed to be 15 years old, and you're out on the street running away just because you can't be at home. Before Zach, her most prominent relationship is Jason.
What's going on in here? I knocked over a lamp. My dad will pay for it.
I don't care about the lamp. You don't yell at my daughter that way.
This is between me and Carmen.
No, this is between you and me now.
Carmen meets Jason when she first goes to a new school, and during this school, you get to see just how little Jason thinks of her. Jason would much rather not be seen with her in public, but he can date her in secret, and that alone tells you the self-esteem levels that Carmen has. After Carmen basically figures out that Jason is not serious about her, and I don't even mean her, I mean the family finds this out, Carmen does the most wrong thing, and that's to still wait around for him. Jason basically figures out that Carmen is at the palm of his hand, and so he basically does as he wishes with her, because Jason ends up cheating on Carmen so many times. And this is the thing that I never understood. Why would George and Angie let Jason come back after he essentially destroyed Carmen's self-esteem over and over again? But it does show much more about Carmen. It's more like she's emotionally resilient. And I'm not sure if she gets this from George because George had to put up with so much growing up, or if she gets this from Angie because Angie is kind of emotionally healthy. Overall, it does seem like Carmen does try to be a good sister to Max, as she has a few moments. And when you really think about it, it's really Max that starts all the issues with Carmen, as the family constantly feels like they would be better off if they got a break from Carmen, and that's what really sucks. I've always looked at this as, why do they treat Carmen like she's an outsider? All in all though, when you really think about Carmen, you have to kind of be happy that she finds her way at the end of the show when she goes off to college. This is after Jason once again left her, broke her heart, and Carmen had to pick up every single piece and keep moving. Perhaps one of the most unceremoniously write-offs in the entire show, Carmen just disappears from one episode to the next at the end of the season. And yes, I agree, it's supposed to be a season finale, but there is no actual proper send-off to Carmen. You just find out that she opens up a letter, you don't even know if she gets accepted, and then the following episode, she got accepted and she's gone.
You know, because of you, I can't even go in my own house. I'm using my daughter as an excuse to live in the backyard.
Perhaps what makes it worse is that she gets replaced by Veronica, and we will get to a Veronica at some point down the line. Overall, you have to admire Carmen for everything that she had to go through, all the challenges that were put in front of her, all the unfairness, and though she was not exactly the best person, you have to kind of agree that Carmen did always get the bad end of the deal. But hey, at least she's got her poetry. Alrighty guys, that's gonna be it for me. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down below. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks again to the members. I will see you all on the next one. Goodbye.
Get down here now, you ungrateful tramp!
What?
We know what you did, but we want to hear it from your mouth.